I think the first match, in fact, is a standoff. Hi, by the way, a proper introduction to everybody. Welcome to the stream.
Professional.
Professionalism. Professionalism.
Yay!
Yay. So, depending how long the stream goes, we'll split it in two, but it might not be that long.
It probably won't be more than like a little bit more than 2 hours.
Yeah, which is fine. Just in case.
Because that's assuming that like half of the rounds also go to 3.
Yeah, so I think we should be okay. We should be okay. So first things first. It's a 2v2, best of 3. I think it was pretty much the best of last week with the worst of last week, and then matching up. There might have been a bit of playing around to not have people with the same. They wanted to pair mids with lows and mids with highs, I think.
A little bit. I think the big thing they did was that Shadow Yard was going to match up with itself, so they said no.
So they said
Instead,
no.
it's fighting itself.
Well, I think there is one DME versus DME fight, and there's one SRA versus SRA fight. So there is a bit of that happening. They're just not on the same team, I guess.
Something like that.
Stop loading and start shooting. Fine, Jesus Christ.
Oh, all right, fine.
Okay, so first is DME and Neutrino versus DME and ORE. That's a lot of fighters. I'll tell you that right now. That's a lot of fighters. Okay, so the DME added what looks to be a couple more Durlons. I'm going to go over the changes rather than everything because the others haven't really changed. Just a couple more A-grade Super Space Superior Wings. I don't believe the Flow Experimental Drumlings. No, they're sharing fighters. There's fighter sharing, isn't there?
Yep, you can share fighters, weapons, and yeah, that's it.
You can share fighters and weapons. So, interesting. So yeah, so the Jeanne d'Arc has 6 Neutrino drones, and Neutrino has added chasseur missiles on the Banshee. And a hybrid blaster and heavy shock beams. It's completely eschewed all Neutrino weaponry for DME weaponry on the Banshee. And we have here a couple pile driver C classes just to carry more drones, just to carry Harridans and wow, they've swapped over completely. That's a lot of fighter wings. That's a lot of fighter wings there. And what we have here, we have DME and ORA. The DME here, Damselflies, Martlows.
Oh man, I would love if my internet let me watch the stream right now.
Oh, is it not letting you?
Well, I mean, it's letting me at like 166.
Oh. So basically, so DME added again more carriers across the board have been added on every fleet, I think. The ORA, this is the ORA with the Elevation class flagship. It's added 3 more Communion carriers using Damselflies and Wisdoms. So it's a bit of a mix-up. It's basically everyone's just decided, you know what, we're going to get more fighters into the mix. This is going to be, this is a lot of fighters. Hang on. Let me open my event list, because professionalism means I haven't got it open yet.
Professional.
The thing
Lightning's right. The budget is really tight.
The thing on top me told me to cheer to be number 1, and I am number 1. Yeah, the budget is really, really tight there. They got within 3 of the budget, which I'm. There's also a rule that the lead.
It's not right.
The leader cannot be more than half the points, I believe, just to stop the leader's fleet just taking over.
Yeah, because they figured out that because of the way that the budget is calculated, hull mods are shared between each. So basically, if if both players buy the same hull mod as the new one that round, then the only one of them will pay for it, basically.
Okay. And it's something like as long as you don't you can keep any weapons and ships you have as long as you don't change the loadout or something like that. Or for future rounds, I can't remember.
You can refit the flagship all you want because the flagship's free.
Yeah.
You can't refit your old ships. You'd have to retire them and replace them.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Anyway, shall we begin? It's a best of 3, so we better get started.
Yes.
This is Jeanne d'Arc versus Jeanne d'Arc, basically.
With just different variations of. Well, I mean, there's a lot of fighters.
Okay, so we have a Center Jammer Com Relay Navboy split, actually. Interesting map. Interesting map, but let's zoom out. That's a lot of fighters.
Dense. I think that's just a brute force method of making the AI actually cluster.
Okay, so here you go. Look at the fight. See, the Neutrino has actually formed a line, whereas the ORA have gone more aggressive. But this is a lot of fighter dancing right now.
Or there's a lot more of smaller ships, I believe.
Oh my god, these are the drones, aren't they? The bloody experimental drones. These are drones with large energy weapons. Right?
Neutrino is a very interesting faction.
Yeah, that's a. And there's been like a fighter exchange. Like there's waves of fighters hit both lines. I think the flow drones have all died though. The flow drones have pretty much all died. I'm not sure how much bang for the buck happened there.
Like that don't do too well in a straight up fighter swarm.
Yeah. I suppose we do have like some air superiority fighters, but they stayed hanging back for most of that.
Yeah. All the DME fighters would be doing really well in helping fight the other DME fighters, but they're holding back because I assume it relates to cautious AI.
Yeah. One blitz is already down, and that elevation took a bit of a pummeling to its armor. Oh, that is one of the flagships, so.
Yeah, the Neutrino Capital is a missile boat with 3 larges. It looks like it's probably just built to make things cry.
Well, see, it's got the triple chasseur, and the chasseurs are basically the bigger brother of the voltager. So it's got a lot of kinetic damage on those missiles. Elevation down. That's one of them going down. A lot of egrets flying around. Shalaika's down, so first blood has been drawn from both sides.
Aura's losing a lot of its carriers.
Yeah, a lot of Aura carriers, all hanging back as well. Although that is a Jeanne d'Arc basically being faced off by the entire enemy fleet. Although
yeah, that's not good for that.
No. Also, because of the changes, there have been balance changes since last week. The DME carrier, the Jeanne d'Arc, has lost Mirage Recall and has now gained Target Data Link as its super, and has a reduced maximum flux capacity. I did find it very amusing that, basically, as a nerf to that super carrier, I'm going to just move my camera away because I can't hear myself think right now. As a nerf to the super carrier, they decided to remove Mirage Recall and yet give it a damage buff to its fighters.
Well, yeah, that was it was a result of like a pretty long chat a bunch of us were having with Soren about how the fact that it can sit at range and instantly recall its planes is kind of silly. It's the combination of those two specific things that make for a very mean combination, because it means that nothing can actually get close to the bomber, the carrier, I mean, because it can just bring its bombers back 2,000 units away instantly. Yeah. And the current system instead, it still benefits from being far away, but it's like, okay, so entire fleet, take this guy out. It's a bit more command detected.
Yeah,
kind of like how the Matrix has a built-in operation center.
Yeah. Also, those Flan drones got right behind the. It had its shields up and it was actually tanking quite well.
Oh no, Jeanne d'Arc died.
Yeah, but the drones just got behind it. It was tanking quite well, but it just got behind there and just took it down.
Well, I guess once the full commit happened, the drones just managed to actually be superiority fighters eventually.
Oh yeah, once everything's engaged, they didn't have to worry about dealing with the fighters.
Yeah, and it looks like the comedians are a little bit terrified of engaging fully. So the Aura and DME team, unfortunately, their fighters are spread out too much to actually counter those drones. So the drones have just been hunting down and killing ships.
Those are crazy drones, though, as far as I can see.
Yeah.
Dual gigapulse, like that's a large weapon slot, right? Dual gigapulse lasers.
Yeah.
So that Jeanne d'Arc has 5 of them, 6 of them flying around there, with these large beam burst energy weapons just flying around. A little bit crazy, I think.
Yeah, Neutrino is a strange faction. that I hesitate to call it outright unbalanced, but at the same time it has a lot of questionable decisions in it that make it.
Well, it used to be a boss faction, and
strange.
it was supposed to have been balanced down, but not necessarily all the way.
Yeah. I think it just needs a big rework to match the current mod environment. Like, I like the faction, I do. It's just there's weird stuff in it. Like
That's a lot of
large
flares.
slots.
That's a lot of flares. There's 2 communions down in what looked like 1 shot. They just collateral the communion. And that's the last thing I think. Yeah, that's the list. There you go. So, match 1, round 1 to Morsha and Densi.
Yeah. It's probably worth mentioning these fighters probably weren't as bad as they are as we see before 0.8.
Oh, when you could actually just kill them off and they wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their fighters have been really weird ever since 0.8, of course, because they've gotten such a giant buff across the board in their functionality. A lot of factions like Neutrino haven't really caught up to it, so they have just fighters that are bizarrely powerful for what they are.
Right. So, map 2, round 2. So you flip the board. We'll now follow from the ORA DME perspective and see as they go what happens. Because the reason we do this, of course, is because sometimes the AI seems to derp, and we're not entirely sure whether it seems to favor player 1, as it were.
Yeah, there's like people go back and forth on it.
Yeah. Although Tardy did let me into a secret, which I'm not sure if he wants me to share, but I'm going to share anyway. Haha! That he made a massive mistake with the AI battles file for last week, where the entirety of the pirates fleet every single time was starting facing the wrong way, which is why the dragon was always side on when we looked at it, because it was literally halfway through turning.
Yeah, that wasn't really a secret. It was like a panic situation in the tournament channel.
See, I don't pay attention to things like that. I'm just here for the professionalism.
Oh, come on.
I'm just here for the professionalism.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this. So, yeah. What do you think about the actual capture points which have potential gameplay interaction? Like Nav Boys and Sensor Jammers.
I think in this tournament, I prefer it over in other tournaments where we start with smaller budgets.
Yeah.
Because objectives that actually matter really benefit fleets with smaller, faster ships, which normally is a big problem because we've always had such an issue with spam. But in this tournament, because it's so centralized around the 2 flagships each team has, I like that it encourages having actual small ships.
1 blitz down.
Because otherwise there's less and less reason to use frigates.
There seems to be a very huge mismatch between the RA fleets. But the blitzes that seem to go in like hell for leather. And then everything else sort of hangs back and leaves them out to dry.
Yeah, like I said, I think the carriers are probably uncautious, which helps sometimes, but not always.
Nemo, imagine the Teuton Castigator with the Mirage Recall. I don't have to. It's a waking nightmare I have.
That's right. Bottom team took all of the points.
Yeah.
Go frigates.
I wonder if it'll pay out.
Carriers uncautious because carriers uncautious don't die.
Especially if you have a carrier like the Jeanne d'Arc that just basically has a stupidly long range inherently.
Yeah. I'll talk more about cautious carriers later, maybe.
Is that when we get to you?
Maybe.
Well, we'll talk about you when we get to you.
And no, cautious carriers don't only escort, they just have a higher tendency to do so. The personality of a ship isn't hard set for the entire battle. They basically... It's not as simple as I'm going to say it, but a basic understanding kinda would be that the AI of the ships actually go up and down in personality levels based on whether or not the fight is favorable.
Okay.
So a steady ship will act cautious if it's outnumbered, or even timid if it's heavily outnumbered. But it'll act more aggressively if its team outnumbers stuff. So a cautious carrier is just going to escort until it finds a good opportunity to attack.
So the elevation is down, but the other Jeanne d'Arc is on low health. So there's been a slight swap here. I mean, those chasseurs are doing a lot of damage. I mean, they do. I think every chasseur becomes 10 voltigeurs, and that's like 30 voltigeurs coming off the Banshee every once in a while. It's a lot of kinetic damage to come out at once.
Yeah, it's a scary burst. It's just deleting ships over there in the corner.
Yep.
The North Jeanne d'Arc looks really low in health, I think.
It is super low in health. It is like on 10% health or something. Like, it would be a huge boon because that's where all these drones are coming from. So if they manage to coordinate a strike on that to remove that Jeanne d'Arc from play, we'd lose a lot. All the experimental drones would go. And there it goes. They'll time out eventually. Is it like a 30-second timeout? I think on fighters when their carrier's gone.
They'll stick around, but yeah, after a few seconds they'll just retreat.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly the time.
So that Jeanne d'Arc is currently kind of soloing it with a few communions in the back line helping out.
That Banshee was kind of a problem.
Hang on, is that Banshee active?
I think he's decided to sit this one out.
I might have to give him a bit of a shove. And apparently, according to Tardy, I can't just pick him up and drop him. I've got to actually change. I've got to make him rethink his tactical situation. So
put him behind his allies, I guess. Probably be the least painful way to do it. Otherwise, you're giving him a flank.
Yeah. Can I put him here? If he wakes up, I'm going to move him back to where he was.
Yeah, that's probably also an option.
Yeah. Okay, he's up. He's fired off missiles now. He fired off. I'll leave him there because he's fired off missiles. But that is a crazy. Look at that voltigeur burst. Christ.
It's a mean little ship.
Yeah, things like that was. I don't like that because I woke him up and I put him in a really good position to get the chasseur burst off. That did not sit well with me.
I mean, the destroyer kind of put itself in a shit position though.
Yeah, I know, but it's a situation how you look at it. That bug is really annoying, and this is a way to fix that bug so it doesn't impact the game by the entire carrier just sitting down the entire time. But it's but where you end up putting the ship just affects it so much. Like, for example, if I was a big dick, I could just move that the Banshee right in behind the Jeanne d'Arc, for example.
Yeah. I mean, it's Jeanne d'Arc friend is already dead, so who knows who's actually winning right now?
Yeah. A Jeanne d'Arc is a very strong ship, and now that the drones are out, this could well be a win for the I was going to say the DME, but they're both DME. For the DME ORA combo. Yeah, because look at that.
Those damsel flights are doing work.
Yeah. That Banshee Norn just took several damsel flights to the face. It's about to go down. It's not a Banshee Norn, it's just a Banshee. Banshee Norn is a different ship.
Oh yeah. Oh well, come on, Jeanne d'Arc. Use the actual laser against the overloaded heavy ship.
It's a lot of attack lasers as well. I do like my beam spam. I really do like my beam spam. Oh yeah, I managed to for some reason the Banshee took his shield out of the way of the high intensity laser. It turns out that high intensity lasers do love hull. Yeah, positioning is incredibly important. Right? Yeah, I want to. It sucks that these AI bugs cause carriers just ships in general, but all of the time it's carriers to just sit steady. So I want to fix that because it's crappy if someone loses because of a ship that didn't take part in a fight. It's also crappy if I cause a flip or something like that because the movement helped out.
Yeah, and to the carton chat saying Omni Shield AI seems pretty fucky. It's less so the Omni Shield AI, more so that the AI really overvalues the threat of missiles.
Yeah.
So salamanders, tracers, stuff like that, spook them, and they'll rotate the shield to try and block it, even though it's not as big of a deal as the high-intensity laser that's firing.
It's also the fact that Neutrino have stupidly short AI shield arcs. Because remember, any other ship could have done both of them at once. The neutrinos have what? They've got a 45 degree maybe?
They tend to have like 45 to 90 degree shields, and that's part of their.
Yeah, you cannot extend their shields either. That's fixed shields. You cannot give them any kind of extension or anything on their shields.
There is a whole mod that makes them like 300 degree shields though, but if they lose a lot of their efficiency, I think.
Is that a neutrino specific mod then?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so I haven't seen that mod yet. And again, never really been paying attention to neutrino.
Yeah, honestly, I used to know a lot more about Neutrino than I do now because I haven't been playing them a lot.
Yeah.
I like them for their weapons more so than their ships nowadays, I feel.
The Sigma upgrade. Lieutenant Redemption arc is going to be because of the AI. You know, it's going to be 1-to-1, so it's not over yet. Still got the last one, which is going to be weird because I got to flip a coin for what side's going to be coming out. Yep. Round 2 goes to Blowthorn and CJ USA.
Yeah, fast, close fight.
Yeah, good fight. At the end, I get irked if I have to move a ship because I just feel like that affects the fight, even if I don't want it to. It affects the fight in some way. Right. So what do we have here? Here I have an honest to goodness American quarter here actually. So we get to call on an actual quarter. Is it a quarter? 2015 Nebraska Mint.
DME heads.
DME heads. Thanks. Appreciate that. I was like, oh, God damn it.
Aura heads.
Aura heads, yeah. Heads it is. So we're going to do from this same perspective again. From this same perspective again. Cool. We'll see how it works out. It was it was close. So as long as the Banshee stays in the fight, it's fine. If the Banshee sort of goes away and lets the Jeanne d'Arc die, basically it's the first Jeanne d'Arc to die. He loses it.
Well, yeah, because the Jeanne d'Arc's like half the fighters on each fleet. It's more so that the two capitals are built specifically to support each other. So if they separate in any way, then they kind of melt.
Let's go then. Damn, my first turn he was Mayorit. Now he's got 1-to-1 AI stupidity and the flipping of a coin.
And Mayorit I kind of miss too. They were another weird faction.
They were visually interesting as well. Like they were quite visually different from everything else because they had a different art style to everything else, which was a bit jarring when I was trying to keep a consistent art style in a campaign.
Yeah. Plus, they had that whole issue with the campaign level economy influences, where basically they sapped the whole economy out of fuel.
Oh yeah, I remember stuff like that. Yeah.
I started disabling them towards my .7 career because just for performance reasons.
Right, so they're holding back. Everyone's holding back a little bit actually, so it's not. Oh, look at that! The Chasseur hits. They just hurt so much. Although one bliss is already taking critical damage over here. It was retreated behind its friend Cobra. They formed into kind of like little death balls around their carriers, which is interesting.
That's what you want to see.
Now the Banshee...
everyone in chat talking about missing Mayorit and Team Dom. Nobody even talks about Exi. Exigency is an amazing mod.
Yeah. We're missing all the Mezzo mods.
Yeah.
Okay, uh-oh.
So...
Uh-oh. Husky down, but... I think weapons-wise, the ORA DME Jeanne d'Arc has definitely got it a better handle in it because the high-intensity lasers working better with the range because I think the Banshee's sticking back a lot and the extra range, the extra range, the Neutrino DME Jeanne d'Arc is having to stay a lot closer in.
Yeah, which means that it's taking more attrition damage because it's not built for being close.
Yeah.
The long range of the high intensity laser it's doing a lot of work because it's making the AI really terrified of approaches, but at the same time the enemy team has to approach.
Yeah. Do you know what if Blowthorn and Morsha are there? How did they set up their the captains for both of the things? It's kind of interesting. I want to know how what the captain. Because I get the feeling that the ORA Jeanne d'Arc is set more cautiously than the Neutrino one.
Banshee's aggressive. Which doesn't surprise me given the way it's flying.
Yeah.
Oh man, half of the Mergs from that burst of missiles got hit by an Echo Caster and it just pattered.
Oh, that's Banshee's gonna took a level of like Damselfly strike to the side. Although this has been kind of fun. The Jeanne d'Arc took damage and it backed out, and it's now kind of out of scanner range right now. But it backed out. So it's
and the Banshee got hit. Just for those that are curious, the Banshee overloaded the Piston because it had its armor stripped too quickly. Neutrino regenerates armor, which is a feature somewhat unique to them. I know Borin does a different kind of armor regeneration. But with Neutrino's armor regen, when they lose their armor too quickly, they actually get overloaded for about 2 seconds. So that opened up the Banshee for the follow-up attack.
We're halfway to reckless mode. Look at that! Oh, there we go. That Durlon just again. That is 30 voltigeurs straight up. No, the Jeanne d'Arc hasn't been deleted. The Jeanne d'Arc is technically still there, but it's outside of scanner range. If I go into the map, the Jeanne d'Arc is out of the map. It's off the map. Did it retreat? Oh, the Maul is AFK. Hang on, let's wake you up, buddy.
Remember that we can see the enemy ships on their approach in the tournament. The scanner doesn't matter for dev mode. So it just straight up retreated.
Wow, the Jeanne d'Arc, they pushed it back so hard that the Jeanne d'Arc straight up retreated. It's a shame because if they were there, they'd have definitely done more work. Because it was far away from the fight. It had full competence. It didn't have that low health. I can't force redeploy, not from the enemy side of the view. That is a shame.
Is this a rematch?
It could be.
I wouldn't like losing that way if the AI decided to just leave.
Again, to show how it works, because as far as I'm aware, all form of retreat is disallowed in the tournament, but the AI still manages to do it. They have an anti-retreat, but it only works with a 1-frame delay, so there's a 1-frame window where the AI can retreat.
Yeah, so if they're already in the area they need to be to retreat and decide, all right, I'm gone, they just vanish.
Yeah. But the DME is French. Ooh, that's... As a Brit, I have no problem with this statement, but still.
Angry tart in the background.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is, after this match we're going to move on, but I'll leave it to Tart and the competitors to have a chat with Oryxen and so forth, and just come back at the end and see if there needs to be a redo or not.
Probably fair.
Yeah. So I'll move on from this fight just so we get more done. You guys have a chat in chat or in Discord or whatever, and then come back to me at the end of the matches and see we need to have a rematch of this. Because that was not great. Like having the DME the Jeanne d'Arc just disappear like that was not like this. Not like this.
No bueno.
What are you? You are a Relativity class, lightning bitches variant. Oh, it's a flying EMP here. Okay. Oh, it's only got mini blasters. It's there just to use as the EMP wave. Say victory achieved. I think possible shenanigans. I'm going to put a question mark by that one. Like I said, have a talk in chat, have a talk with Oryx, and have a talk with Tardy, and see if it's worth the rematch. Anyway, so while that goes on, let's move on to the next one without any further ado. We have now Night Kev's Birdie with Low-Tech Grim. So, as far as I can tell, Night Kev just added this. You know what? We're just going to get one more convergence in there. More crates? More crates for you, you say?
Gotta love crates. The unnerfable crate.
And I think Low-Tech...
Literally everyone agrees they need a nerf.
Low-Tech just added a Moro with another crate wing.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I respect it.
A couple of broadswords, but crates is like... Versus... Okay, so
High-Tech and Psy with Comes and Night Chase.
So High-Tech added a Vortex with some Atlas Escort wings, which are the Nano...
Vortexes are fun.
And... I can... 3 Arguses, I think, it looks like, for Psy, with, again, with more... Basically, Psy went... We hadn't got any fighters last time, so let's grab 8 new fighter wings. Maximum C-Wiz... Yeah, maximum C-Wiz fighters.
Carriers, hoorah.
Check the Hounds. Alright, I'll check the Hounds. Hound class, standard combat freighter. Ferrogun Hounds. Ooh! Ferrogun ITU Hounds. Oh, that's not that one. That one's burst cannon. There's 2 Ferrogun Hounds.
I respect it.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Also, exactly 500,000 points. Much approval.
Magnifique.
Ferrogun Hounds, that's kind of good. I've never actually considered that, just sticking a Ferrogun on a Hound. How many points
is a Gauss Cannon Mudskipper Mark II, but, you know, actually good.
Yeah. What is the points value of you'll have to tell me, like, Grim and Nightcap. What is the points value of a Ferrogun Hound? Or of a Ferro Hound, I'm now dubbing this. Ferro Hounds is healthy penance for the crate spam.
That's probably true.
What's that? Ciceron's words.
Ciceron, when are you gonna nerf the crates, my dude?
Ciceron, when are you gonna make your mod compatible with Version Checker so that my merging checker doesn't flip out whenever I load the game?
Ciceron, fix your game.
Literally unplayable.
0 out of 10.
Oh, the Lashers just went ahead and be happy because, you know what, Lashers!
Lashers love their job, and their job is being fast and...
This is literally Paragon and Nemean Lion versus a Kurmaraja and an Onslaught. So, Ciceron, I have a mod? Oh, hang on, pause. My chat is over the fleet's battle stats. It's a little awkward at the bottom. Oh yeah, sorry, this is... Let me quickly just flip through that.
Ooh, Nemean Lion's got pulse lasers.
Let's quickly just shove chat to over here. That should be fine, hopefully.
Chat's telling you to check the Nemean Lion.
Ooh, did it have a swap? Let's have a look. Yeah, where am I?
Yep.
Hang on a second.
They're all telling you to check the Nemean Lion.
I will do. I will do. Oh.
You click it in the tactile map, then you highlight the window on the bottom left. Or hover over it.
Yeah. 3 supercharged pulse beams.
Pulse beams are great, and I love them.
Yeah, it's 3 of them. Oh my god, there's the beam you line. Hang on, I lost my HUD. Hang on a second. There we go. It's better. It was paused.
Expanded mags with the pulse beams.
And what about you? Have you changed? Nah, you have the Paragon hasn't changed. Oh, just deleted. The super just charged me, just deleted. Oh, snuck in some shots just past the shield of that convergence. Sniper Lion.
Yep. Pulse beams are good. They're good weapons. It was my very first Nemo line build. Actually, was triple pulse beams.
Nemean line just sneaking in there. Oh, that convergence has now decided to say hi to every single beam that the Paragon has. So that's a dead convergence.
Yeah, those convergences are getting a little bit greedy. Oh, and they're pulse beams, which means that the interdictor it can't stop it. It's all beams that Nemo line. It's specific to counter that interdictor.
Ah, it's true. You can't slow a beam.
I respect the strategy.
Ooh, hang on, that's the... Ooh, double armor loss on the Nemean Lion. Like, both front armor plates at the same time.
Crates.
Crates, aren't they just crate? Don't let your beams be memes.
Unfortunately, it's not going to do very much to shields.
Hang on. I was gonna say, is that thing still like it is still awake? Okay, fair. So the Paragon is awake. It's just beaming the Kurmaraja from range.
And the Korokata looks to be chasing something on the right. Yep, it is chasing a Lasher.
It's chasing a Lasher. And to be fair, so is an Onslaught is chasing the same Lasher. Lasher's on your team, Onslaught. Lasher's on your team.
It's probably chasing the Korokata.
Wow, those crates have taken out the third armor panel on the Nemo line. Hang on, are we gonna lose all 4 panels?
Well, that creates their, what are they, Vespers, right? With the Fury torpedoes? Yeah, Vespas, chat saying.
Are we gonna lose the third? We may be. Yeah, they lost.
Line's a great ship, but it has basically no defenses of its own.
Yeah, we lost all 4 armor panels. That's a rarity. It's not often you see a Nemo line lose all 4 armor panels. And then live. It must have like single-digit hull, but it's still alive. Onslaught now firing off with a Korokata. Nemo line's still alive.
Towards the line, it's gone.
Pretty much. Well, 1 crate needs to get back in there, but it's still alive. Christ knows how. Onslaught is fighting on the Korokata.
The Psi fleet has spread way too much out, and the Paragon is too long range almost, and it's getting pushed away from the fight.
Ooh, hang on. The Mora is just gonna. The Mora is just going into ram. Oh no! Yeah, well, I think that was a crate shot. Lucky there. The Mora just came in to distract.
The Mora the ram kill.
Korokata there. Ooh, Korokata, they lost some armor. It's much with the Kurmirage. The Paragon now is outranging everything right now.
That Nemean had to be reckless, wasn't it? Because it went in for that flank immediately.
That Paragon is beaming everything to bits, though. I mean, Paragon is a strong ship.
A good ship.
Paragon was face-hugging the dragon last time, apparently. Again, the Kurmaraja can stop the auto pulse laser. It can't stop attacking on lances.
Nope.
Kurmaraja, the 50% hull. This is gonna.
Paragon versus Onslaught's what it's looking like.
Yep, this is high tech versus low tech, people. Paragon versus Onslaught, and it looks like the Onslaught is pretty much alone, apart from 1 convergence and 1 lasher.
Yeah, both teams split up really hard, so they just started taking casualties in a meat grinder scenario.
That Paragon is pretty much alone, apart from the convergence there, and all those.
Not Paragon, Onslaught.
All those minigun drones. It's fragmentation damage, but it adds up, and when you get to the hull, fragmentation damage is crazy DPS.
It's a great time for everyone involved.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think miniguns actually function as beams as far as the game is concerned?
Yeah, the Cyan, like the chain needle miniguns, they do soft flux. They are a masked beam, basically.
Yeah, they are beam masquerading as a kinetic as a ballistic weapon.
Yeah, it's an invisible beam that has a decorative projectile.
That's cool. I like that. I appreciate that. Yes, they are beam games. They're beam game. Otherwise known as beam games. Match 1 goes to High Tech and Psy.
Oh, look at the Vortex going in for the kill on the Convergence. What a good time. I love me Vortexes. Vortexes are just fun ships.
That was a lot less balanced. I thought it was more balanced than that. Turns out it wasn't. It was literally what? The Nemean Lion and 2 Medusas for the entirety of the enemy fleet.
Yep. Interesting.
That's crazy.
I thought they were taking more losses than that.
Yeah, it definitely felt they were taking losses. Again, because the Argus is just hang back and just sent all their little drones forward.
Yeah, and Nemean Lion is a big loss, to be fair, and it's a big loss with a lot of sparky bits flying off it, so it seems like a bigger deal than it is.
Let's see, is it... There's the correct one. Okay, just want to get the right one. Right, round 2. Let's go. Yeah, the Medusas also go in hard as well, which is why they get deleted. Keep an eye on that. That is one crazy Nemean Lion, though. I approve. I've got to ask, why wasn't doing that last time?
What, the Nemean Lion?
Yeah. I was in, why is the Nemean Lion not... But why would you? Paragon is still the queen of cap ships no matter the mod faction it faces. Paragon is still a stupidly good cap ship.
Yeah,
It's still a paragon of its kind. Puns!
I've always thought the Paragon was a little bit too simply powerful for me. Well, that's because I'm a weirdo who doesn't like simple forms of power and strength. I like the zippy ships that are really good if you know what you're doing and stuff like that, you know? The idea of, oh no, it takes a lot of damage and it has a lot of range isn't a very big deal to me, but that's just my opinion.
What is it firing?
It's still a cool ship and it's well designed. I just don't like using it.
It's firing. What is it firing? It's firing. Oh, it's firing. It's got a Rage SRM pods. I was wondering what it was firing at. Those rockets were.
What a nice start to the match. The Onslaught and Paragon duking out.
They're letting. That's actually quite a nice sight. You have literally the Onslaught versus the Paragon over here, and then the Kurmaraja and the Nemean Lion are just facing off over here.
Yep.
And that's not going to go well for the Kurmaraja because the Onslaught.
Yeah, they're both not doing favorable matchups right now. The Kurmaraja just kind of got hard countered this fleet, I feel.
Ooh, goodbye,
the
Onslaught.
Needs too much support to lose its ally.
And that's these two ships are basically designed to counteract the Kurmaraja's special.
Yeah, it's interdictor. The Onslaught's down. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the Paragon is both an anvil and a hammer. That's true. Then every once in a while you get the Nemean Lion just hitting a beautiful snipe shot here and there. Oh, that's the Kurmaraja. Again, Paragon's like, you know, I'm going to face hug you with a Fortress Shield. And...
I mean, it's got the flux to spare. It may as well make it waste its time, all the Nemean flanks.
Yep. That said, it also has... What's it got missiles-wise? Just swarmers, actually. Someone fired like a bunch of harpoons or something. I just didn't see what it was. Someone's got a bunch of harpoons. I just don't know who it is.
I'm watching to see. I don't see it yet.
Yeah, the Kurmaraja gets wiped
I'm
out.
really far behind you.
Okay, so we'll do a pause after this. You can refresh the stream, see if you catch up.
I see no harpoons. Are you talking about the Furies?
Yeah, something happened that just deleted the Kurmaraja, and it looked like it had like the little like winding, homing. So the Furies had a bit more of a straighter flight path. Hey, it's something. It was shot at the Kurmaraja, so it couldn't have been Furies.
There's sign missiles that have flight patterns like that.
With all the speed skills, the Para can get up to 108 speed. It could be the Argon's, the Argon's built-in missiles, or some Hornets, maybe.
Probably Hornets. Hornets are solid missiles. High-speed Paragons are a very respectable strategy. I mean, it doesn't need armor, so put lightweight plating on it. It's already got a lot of range, so UI's not going to ruin it that hard. Player skills, of course, can add up. Of course, unless you put auxiliary thrusters on it, it's still going to be a brick that you slowly push in a direction, and eventually it just has a little bit of speed. You won't have any brakes.
That's it. A solid 2-0 there to High Tech and Psy.
Yeah, that one's a straight-up win.
There's no rematch there, I'm afraid. That was no questions asked. Again, it was only a 3-ship loss, but instead of being... It was just, again, 2 Medusas and a Psy ship. In this case, it was an Argus rather than the Nemean line. So, hang on, do the Argus have built-in missiles? MRM
Argus has a pair of universal mounts and a pair of medium missiles, I think.
They've got a built-in MRM cluster, whatever that is. That must have been what I saw.
Oh, the Argus, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been what I saw.
I was thinking of the Nemean line.
Like I saw like something like some kind of missile swarm hit the Kurmaraja, and I was like, who the hell just fired those? Okay, so what's next? Next we have is Nia and Hairflex, Borkin and Mid versus you and ORA.
Hello.
So it's Matriarch and Enlightenment versus the Borkins. What's this called again? It's called a Shidamel and the Eagle. But Borkin seems to have added
another Mygo,
and a Dole. And Midtech added...
Midtech only added monitors.
5 monitors.
What style? What grace? Still no fighters.
Vulcan cannon and flat cannon monitors. And did the flagships change at all? Raska anti-armor cannons on the Eagle. And a Tachyon lances on the Shidamel. Those weren't there before.
Well, it has access to vanilla techs now, so they have vanilla tech.
And what did you change? Let's see. How much coordination did you do with Kara?
Kara and I were exchanging notes basically throughout the whole week. I used a bunch. I swapped out some of my Vicarious wings for bombers and wisdoms, because wisdoms are fervors, not wisdoms. The gunship fighter. Plus, I added an additional princeps with another fervor. And I added I think it was an Interex themed all around aura weapons because I wanted to do that.
You've also got 4 Echoes casters on the Matriarch now as well.
Yep, because wait, 4?
Yeah, it looks like
it was 2.
The 4 Echo casters on the Interex.
I don't remember changing the rear ones, but yeah, I added Echo casters because they're just really, really good. And the chain gun is kind of awful.
Animus blasters, so you have an Interex with an Animus blaster, which I never really got into. The Animus blaster always had too short of a range for me, personally.
I didn't honestly make the Interex to make it good. I just wanted to do something fancy and aura showcasey.
Memes, okay, memes.
Yeah.
So we have Sag Cannon, Fervor Wing, okay, on the Princeps. Is that's the? Yeah, that's the.
It's basically the same loadout, but with fervors this time.
And Enlightenment, is that upgraded at all?
Yeah, he changed the Enlightenment a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Remember before it was a shield bypass with like 7 Echo casters?
Yeah, so it's now 4 plasma cannons, 3 shield projectors, and then a ton of choir emitters. So you've gone full this is your build. I recognize this. This is your Enlightenment class build.
I mean, it's the kind of Enlightenment I would build, like, right off. Neither of us wanted Deans, though. Like...
Yeah. So fervors are litanies and choirs, and then... And then I'm assuming that Kara just added the communions with additional wisdoms and fervors and sabos.
Yep.
Okay.
Just added more communions. We went hard on the whole fighter thing.
Kara removed the baby gloves and souped up that goddamn enlightenment.
You'd be surprised the shieldless enlightenment was still doing
Hardened
good work.
shields, stabilized shields. Yeah, that is. Look at that shield efficiency in the enlightenment now. Holy mother of moly.
Yeah, the enlightenment now is built to make whatever's in front of it die, but unfortunately, if it refuses to die, it doesn't have much to respond with.
Yes,
because it relies on those plasma cannons and doesn't have much to reduce its flux.
Yeah, so it's basically, it has to burst it down, otherwise it flux itself out.
Yep.
Oh well, so, match 1. I'm not sure.
We went full tilt on the fighter support.
The interesting thing as well was for me, YouTube screwed over, so my actual episode of Starsector came out an hour late. But I got this feeling that whereas other factions set up their own, like, pre-set up their faction relations, I don't think Borin does, because Borin's like friends with everybody. So when I wiped out Tritakian in my playthrough because they were in alliance with Borin and I want to grab them as an alliance, Borin just allied with Hegemony instead because they're friends with everybody.
Yep.
Like, I want Borin into my alliance. I want to be able to buy Shudamel and carry it around and fly it around for a bit.
Well, you just gotta steal them.
I'm playing.
Fast ships are ships that you gain through iron and steel.
Oh yeah, when I next do a pirate playthrough, that would be fantastic. But I tend not to do that when I'm doing a faction playthrough.
All that Eagle's getting real close to the Enlightenment.
Yep.
All that Eagle's being a little bit ballsy.
Eagle, like, you know what? 3 plasma cannons? I can deal with that, right? No.
Easy.
No, I cannot.
Harmless. Good job, Hammerhead, baiting it in. So a bit of an interesting thing with this fleet, the Midtech one, I mean, I'm talking about the Midtech, is I don't really know what they were doing with the monitors. It amuses me. We'll see if that changes anything. Because monitors tend to not be that relevant in the fight, but they do a very, very good job of kiting and outlasting enemy ships. So, yeah, I like if you recall in the last PvP tournament for my own fleet, I added a monitor late in because I just didn't know what else to do, and it ended up being fairly useful just simply as a single token ship.
No, I remember it destroyed things with its flat cannons. It's like it destroyed ships with its flat cannons because it just sat in their face, firing the flat cannons here and there.
Well, more so that it had safety overrides and stuff, and it would just kind of ignore all damage incoming. Mygo just went down.
Yeah, Shudamel needs to get in there.
I was actually really terrified of Mygos, I'll be honest. Because they have that missile spam plus phase and speed.
Yeah.
So that's just a terrifying combination. They get a bit greedy in these fleet engagements, though, I've noticed.
The Shudamel needs to get in there, or you need to get in there before it was slow fluxed out. It can't really do anything right now.
Oh, but if it gets in there, it's getting in towards the matriarch. And the Shudamel doesn't have too much to counter fighters. I see that it's built. I think it's changed its variant a little bit to try and fight off fighters.
It's got Tachyon lances and it's got all the little side missiles.
Yeah. So it's holding off the Princeps pretty well, I think.
One Princeps is down to a hammerhead. It looks like.
Yeah. The Princeps, they're all right, but they're not like they're not the greatest for holding off opponents.
The Enlightenment might have bugged out. I'm gonna play for a little bit. That hammerhead is.
It looks like it might have bugged, yeah.
Yeah, that hammerhead is trying to play. Is kind of there, so I don't want to. It might have woken up. Okay, it's woken up. The hammerhead's woken up, I think. I'll keep an eye on it still, but I think the hammerhead's woken up.
A lot of losses on both sides. This is interesting.
The hammerhead's just woken up. It's like, actually, no, we got plasma cannons. You don't want to be there right now. That Shudamel taking a lot of damage though from the. Okay, so you have 4 Echo Scouts. You got two at the back and and one on either side.
All right, yeah. I couldn't remember if I put them in the back because they're a little bit more expensive than chain guns, but frankly, I think chain guns are awful. They're just the only medium point defense that II has in the ballistic slot. Those monitors are just kind of floating around.
Again, like the Enlightenment isn't awake, but if I move it any closer, I get like It's one of the problems with the Enlightenment is that it's slow. So if I teleport it close, that's like mitigating.
Do half the distance.
The thing is, it's turning around. It's turning.
Awake, dude.
It's turned. It just turned.
Yeah, they do that. It's turning back now.
Buddy. Yeah.
You gotta wake it up.
I can't actually because it's not in sensor range, so I can't actually select it.
Tart, I think we've realized a problem.
It's active. It's moving now. It's moving. Well, it's the Matrix going to go down now.
Maybe.
Maybe. No, if I don't have it locked on with target, I can't actually move it. And if it's not being seen on the map, I can't lock onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see it no matter what, but if it's not turning on, I just tried, Tart. I appreciate that you tested it, but I literally just tried now.
I think it's the funniest thing that monitors are doing something right now.
What are they doing? I'm trying to figure out what they're doing.
Distracting. There's so many of them. How can you afford that many? They're like 7k each. 70k, I mean.
Are they?
They're ridiculously expensive for frigates. They cost like as much as a destroyer. Mind you, it's like 70k for like hull mods and stuff.
Yeah.
So it goes to like 40 or 50 each afterwards, but still, like, what the hell?
The Citadel has a dash system. Yeah, it's got a forward dash. That Enlightenment's getting hit on all sides right now. I'm on free cam. There's everything, right? Yeah, that's everything. For that Enlightenment, it's just how resilient it is. Because it's been there for quite a while, surrounded on all sides, and it's still taking time to die.
Yeah, just check the Enlightenment. Not Enlightenment. The monitor's 25k each. How many did he add?
He added 5.
So we had 125 to spend. Jesus. Nice.
Yeah, that's
at
fun.
least 125.
Wonder how it would turn out if the Enlightenment hadn't like derped out of range.
That's the question to ask, isn't it? Since the entire fleet is built around those two capitals being near each other.
Yep. Right. Well, we'll see what you get on the other playthrough.
We had 126k to spend. That's impressive. Yeah. See, this is the kind of stuff I was talking about with the not using a cap. You can just swarm things with ridiculous shit, and come up with some strange strategies.
I actually went 2,500 over budget, but thanks to Nia, I could keep the 5th due to the spam limit. So actually, yeah, so
isn't the budget just for the hull mod difference though?
And tab which one? Dragged link cam. Yeah, I prefer dragged free cam because linked free cam is just too quick for my tastes. All my memories survived even.
I thought okay, or greenlight it.
Monitors, oh please nerf.
Man, I sure hope the elevation, the Enlightenment, and Matriarch stay together. You know, their whole thing that they're supposed to do.
What's that Miko doing?
It's best.
It's just that they're spinning, going. Ah.
It's doing its best. Don't criticize it. All right.
I'm not. I'm just finding it amusing. Friendly fire shot, tisk tisk. Well, they're as close together as they can be, so hopefully it'll work out better for you this time around. Monitors are now nerfed. When they go into Fortress Shield, they go into Priwen Burst 10 times stronger than out of Templars.
Shuddenow's getting some bomber runs on it. I don't think it's lost its armor yet. It's a lot of armor for a phase fleet, you know?
Well,
I think there's heavy armor on them. I haven't checked, actually.
Well, like it would make sense given their passive.
I'd upgrade their armor since they regenerate a fraction of it.
Yeah.
You know?
What's with the Suicide Eagle flex? Is it aggressive? It's doing something. Okay, so what's happening over here? Well, they're hanging close by this time around, thankfully. Enlightenment's just taking. It's got so much flux capacity. It doesn't even care about taking tactical lances to the shield.
Nah, most things don't.
No, I think the tactical lance does have a considerable burst, even if on soft flux can cause problems.
Oh, that hammerhead took a lot of plasma to the face for being a bit greedy.
Yep.
Didn't die though. Good on it.
I mean, your timing is impeccable. Didn't die though. Boom.
I'm like 6 seconds behind you.
That's not too bad though.
Enlightenment's got a bit greedy though on that hammerhead and currently choked up on soft flux, so the fighters are gonna have to pull it out. Looks like the fighters are doing a fair job of it though.
This is what you wanted to see last episode, I guess. Last match is like.
Oh yeah, this is
the front line Enlightenment with a massive amount of fighter support, which is let's be honest, is what we said the RA needed after round 1.
Yeah. Ooh, the Shudnow tried to phase through some bomber waves, but unfortunately the phase wore out halfway through it, so they all just exploded across the hole.
Ooh. Hang on, so just a quick pause here, just checking. I mean, they are active. They're just hang on. They are trying to deal with a bliss over here, so they are actually active.
They're all swarming a small formation of ships.
Okay, they're not actually dead in the water over there.
So there's the cap fight in the north, and then in the south are all the smaller things.
So I'm gonna step back then, just so you have an idea what's going on here. Because here we got a
big standoffy fight.
Yeah, because there's some front lines here. The Eagle's over there. Let's keep you selected so I have an idea of what's happening over there.
And my hammerhead stresses me out in this matchup because one-on-one it can beat their hammerheads, like almost all of them, but it's never one-on-one. And the AI thinks, oh, I could beat this guy, but it forgets about the 3 others, so it just keeps dying.
Uh-oh, that might be a down Shudamel.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's got no support.
Oh, Reapers.
It's got
the Reapers almost finished it.
The something or other just did. The Infernos, I think.
Honestly, I put the Reapers on the Matriarch as a meme, but they've been like performing well.
Well, Matriarchs always. Sorry, Reapers always perform well.
True.
Like oh, it's a joke, but if it hits, that's a 2,000, 4,000 damage.
Yeah, it's just a casual. All right, this fight's over.
Yeah.
I think it's a bigger deal with the Vicarious spam that I did in the first round though, because with bombers it doesn't need it as much, so it doesn't use it as much.
I think the opposite happened for you, because here, like, both your capitals stayed together, fighting off the Shudamel, whereas for the other team, like the Shudamel was up there dealing with 2 capitals, and basically the rest of your fleet distracted the rest of their fleet.
Yep. The matchup of Aura and Aya kind of naturally deathballs really well, but both fleets are built around formation fighting, so if they split up, it's double doom.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very strong matchup when it works in their favor.
That's a dead hammerhead, hang on. I recognize a dead hammer. I correct. Again, for some reason, you can always tell when they're dead, because they face off to, like, northeast. It's that specific angle that, for some reason, is the specific angle of the AI's that to Bork.
And remember what I was saying about how earlier about cautious carriers more?
Yeah.
All the carriers in my side I can't confirm for carry. But all of my carriers and concepts, all of my ships actually, other than the matriarch, are on cautious as a way to try and make them deathball.
Yeah.
When I was testing it against various fleets, I actually found out that my fleet kills them faster in this configuration than if everyone's on reckless or aggressive.
Yeah.
Because they're more closely concentrated, which means that there's a better volume of fire, they don't get pushed away, and several times I could shame enemy fleets that I tested against.
So what we've essentially had here is both sides have lost a match because the AI screwed them over. It balanced out. You lost the first round.
I don't think the AI screwed Borin on this side. Borin and Midtech. I think they did exactly what they were going to do regardless, which was because they have the more mobile fleet by a wide margin. They spread out and try and take on individual targets, but the II and Aura fleet just did what it was supposed to do, which was stay fairly densely close together. So the mobility didn't count as much.
Yeah.
So I don't think the AI screwed them in this one. I mean, I would definitely say it probably screwed my side on the first one, but you know, that's
well, it's more in the sense that like it didn't do the clever thing rather than it broke completely. Like, the clever thing would have been to deathball versus you, even though you deathball better. Leaving the shut mill alone was not what you wanted it to do.
Well, yeah, leaving the Shudnell alone is never a good idea. They really need to support the Shudnell because it's basically the core of the entire fleet. It's the only thing bigger than a cruiser. And there's only one cruiser at that, too. So they just don't have a whole lot of fire density.
Okay, so not long left now. What's left? Just 2 Migos are left, and a couple of the timeout. So reckless world it is.
Yep. As much as it's a deathball fleet, it's also a fleet that kills slow. Versus a fleet that kind of has to go fast because part of its phase. Not that they do the vanilla style of phase where they have time dilation, so they actually don't have a low CR. It's just, you know, no shield means that they take a lot of penalty damage over time.
Yeah.
So they don't like attrition.
Oh
Even with the armor regen, it only goes so fast. So far, I mean.
Yeah. Well, it's not 100% armor regen. It's still attrition still works.
Raya says they do have time dilation. I haven't noticed it from what I've seen. Is that it must be like really small if they do.
Well, they're on 8%. It's on low CR now, so that thing's. I was wondering what it was doing. It's because it's half its engines aren't working. This one's 5 CR.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. They have time dilation. See, it's just Borin is a weird phase faction. Well, for one, it's a phase faction, which makes it inherently kind of weird. And it does phase differently because if it was just straight up phase ships, it'd be boring. Which is good. That's basically what you should do if you're focusing on phase so much. You can't just have plain old phase. The phase in this faction does just different things. It reorganizes their armor, which is such a strange, like, unique thing to Borin. The armor leveling.
I like it. It's what you want. You want unique things, like things that really give it a faction flavor.
It's neat. It definitely has a lot of flavor.
1-to-1, and it ended up. It wasn't quite a CR off at the end there, but things were reaching 0 CR. So
yeah.
So things like waste more. So they go through CR more if you're in phase mode, I guess, because of the time dilation.
Yeah, time dilation. So if time's going 3 times as it is vanilla, then that means the CR goes down 3 times as fast for the duration of phase.
Right. So, and I'll coin flip. Well, since you're here, I'll give you the honor of choosing.
Heads Borin.
Heads Borin. So the other setup.
All right.
So here we go. How close are you? You are 1,800 apart. It's not that far apart in score either. But okay, here we go. Tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Zoom out. I love the visuals of Borin. Borin just looks good.
Yeah. So again, what needs to happen for both sides is particularly the monitors have to escort the Shudnell because the monitors can eat the bomber runs really well.
Yeah.
And for the other fleet, the capitals have to stay close together. Do not leave each other's side. It's basically the gist of the strategy.
Well, it seems to be happening to a certain degree. I can count at least like 3 monitors are right beside the Shudnell with a couple more close by, so that will help out.
Yeah, that's good for them. Because yeah, that was happening the first round. I noticed with monitors eating the fighter waves really efficiently. The Shudnell needs to get bursted down for the other fleet to have a chance against it. But if the monitors or any other ships are blocking that, then hey, and the monitors can do it without taking damage. The hammerheads and eagle, if they get in the way, they take damage and die.
Poor eagle already getting friendly fired. One hammerhead down.
Yeah, the II hammerhead took some damage though for it, so that's not going to work long term.
I do get this thing. Yeah, I do have this feeling that the Shudnell is doing a lot of friendly fire damage. Because cannons aren't entirely accurate, so things just snip by fighters and just hit like the hammerheads and stuff.
That might be the case.
Okay, monitors need to be here and it's important because they are here.
As chat says, the AI is brutal right now. They know what to go for. It's fairly true. This is kind of what happens when the ships are really densely populated. Is the AI will converge fire very efficiently, and it's why fleets like Interstellar Imperium campaign can be so deadly if you don't prepare for them.
Which works really well with the fluff of like an Imperial Legion.
Yeah.
Like full-on organization, close pack tactics.
And yeah, and as Angry says, the AI and stuff really good despite some noticeable bugs. And usually those bugs are mostly noticeable because it's such a good AI. It's like it's capable of really good things, so it's irritating when it doesn't do that good thing.
For some reason, the Shudnell's trying to face off against your Interrex. Your joke Interrex actually distracted the Shudnell. It's facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to bet that it was turning to face something, then it got up, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, because it definitely looked like it flamed out. It looked like it flamed out there.
Yeah, for a bit anyway. I think Borin does have a thing where when they go in phase, they can repair their stuff though. So, and one of the monitors went down before the Shudnell, so I guess the monitors weren't as powerful as I was hoping they were. Because I was really hoping they did work the first one, yeah. And I was enjoying watching monitors do work because I love weird tactics like that with like monitor spam. It's great.
Yeah. Doll down, monitor down, hammerhead down. Now it's just a mop up really. Got what?
Yeah, once the Shudnell goes down, the fleet folds because it's their only capital versus 2 of them. Sometimes in testing, one of the really amusing fights I saw a few times was where the Enlightenment would go down fighting the Shudnell, and then the Matriarch would have to hold off everything on its own because suddenly it didn't have its like big hammer or anvil, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, didn't have the front line.
Because without that Matriarch, it can still do work, but it's like on a time limit because it can't really defend itself. I had one fight which was honestly my favorite one out of all of the tests, where it was just the Enlightenment versus the Shudnell left, and the Enlightenment won with like 5 HP. It was enough that there wasn't even a pixel in the health bar.
Always nice. Those clutch moments.
Yeah. And it only won that because there was a dead hammerhead floated between the 2 of them, which gave the Matriarch enough time to start venting, and the fighters just flew over the corpse. So hey.
We have left here. What do we have here? We have a monitor over there, hammerhead. Something just exploded down there. Miko over there, and the Dole over there. The Dole's on 42 CR already, so it's not going to last much longer.
Yeah. And thinking on it more, you moving the Enlightenment that first round probably wouldn't have made much of a difference anyway. Because the big issue was the fact that it got separated in the first place.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a slow ship, so once they're far away from each other, they're basically gone for the whole fight. Because neither of them can move very fast.
Yeah, the Enlightenment is such a slow ship.
So like, unless you plopped the Enlightenment right on the fight, which would not have been fair in any way, I don't think it would have made a difference. So I don't think that was a unfair loss from my end anymore.
The Eagle suicided again. No, the Eagle didn't have so much suicide. They got swarmed by all the fighters. I think it was right in the middle of some serious shit early on.
Yeah, it was trying to protect the it was trying to protect its allies, so it died with honor.
Yeah. And I do think the Shudamel did a lot of like accidental friendly fire because they were all very clamped.
Yeah.
It was trying to use its cannons against the fighters as well.
Yeah, the Shudamel, plus I feel like the Mygos with their missiles flying everywhere kind of caused some havoc. It means there's shots getting fired all over the place, so just that combination.
Perflex stepped out for a smoke and got smoked. Yeah, so all that's left is there you go. Shame, really?
Was it?
What? I wouldn't think so. I guess you didn't lose anything, but still, I wouldn't call it shamed.
I mean, the round might have been a shame, but the whole fight was fairly honorable. Match to match. 2 of the monitors retreated. And a Mygo.
Again, when they're completely outlawed, they still do it. There's a frame delay before the no retreat kicks in. So.
Yep.
Oof, that was rough though. It was well played.
But yeah, as was mentioned in chat, this just wasn't a very good matchup for Borin. Midtech, the monitor thing was really interesting and clever, and I'm interested to see how other fleets are going to be able to counter that, because now that that's like sunk in, let me check what the maintenance is on monitors. 12 grand.
Dang.
Which means for the 5 of them, that's 60k. So that's not that choking for the budget. So yeah, that's Midtech's got an interesting feature out of it.
SRA Metalson versus DASRA. The DSRA.
Diable.
Yep. So we have here what just changed then. Shikomu wings still, and now a Charybdis added with Wraith drone fighter wings. What are the Wraith ones? Wraiths are mini flax and crawler beams, and then I'm trying to remember. Ooh, you have an Actel. Metelson's finally added an Actel now. A couple of clan destroyers. They seem to have swapped out a lot for. They got a lot of SRA weapons have hopped in here, and of course because all the carriers are now taking Shikomis because they can.
Well, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah. And what are these? These are Star Destroyers, Lockdown HMGs, Silver Cannons, and of course there is a Porsche with a Actel with its Actel H35 canopy, the gun, which I hate.
It's what is it, like a giant?
It's a massive. It's a massive kinetic weapon. A massive cannon.
Yeah.
Both sides are really like short. Like the capital, they have 20k for Solina and Lightning, and then 17k for Chaos, Farseer, and Snorasha.
I mean, that's not really big because consider the scale of the budget.
Yeah, still means you got about 10k each.
Diable's got its Pandemonium, which is
the Pandemonium, awesome. The Fractus. Did they change any weapons around?
Ooh, a Valiant.
No. So we have here Fractus again, hasn't really changed. Zephyr and Raven. Then the Vapors here. Another Fractus with Valiant wings, and then a Hail with Tusk torpedo racks and Grey HMCs. And Cramped Hull.
What's a Tusk Hail? That's mean.
What's a Cramped Hull?
I'm gonna pay attention to that Hail because that is going to matter something.
What's a Cramped Hull? I don't recognize Cramped Hull.
Cramped Hull, you can't add things like expanded missile racks or magazines, and it doubles the reload rate of missile weapons.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's a Diable built-in hull mod for a lot of ships because they have a lot of missile mounts. So it's to make sure that you can't like compound it too hard.
Yeah. And then the Skadi hasn't changed in Shikome wings. Tartarus.
Why would they?
I don't know. It was to pick up any fighters. Again, that Charybdis wasn't there. Wasn't there before? No, it wasn't there before. I can't remember. That Charybdis. I don't think it was there before.
No, the Charybdis is new. I think
it's got an Ulan siege laser on it as well.
The Shikome, the Tartarus, and the 2 frigates. So the Charybdis is new, and the extra frigate is new.
So they put a siege laser on the Charybdis.
Oh, that's mean.
Yep. And then we have Warless Sniper, Raven Heavy, Zephyr, a couple of Valiant Wings, and 5 Shikomes, and some Nereid Interceptors.
I might be a little bit biased in saying this, but I like Diable, and I like what they've done with the Tusk Hail and the Ulan Charybdis. But we're casters, we can't be biased, all right?
Sure. I like what the Medicines did. Like, you know what? Everything that can carry a Shikome, carry a Shikome, please.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with that.
I mean, that's also a valid strategy. Shikomes, they just stack so well. Shielded fighters in general do, because like really light fighters like Talons or Wasps,
one Vapor down.
They just get kind of destroyed by AoE weapons. The shielded fighter tends to be heavy enough that it cannot.
That Charybdis is gonna. That Charybdis went really aggressive. That Charybdis went so aggressive.
I love you, Charybdis, but that was a bad call.
That was really aggressive.
The other Charybdis.
The Dranger as well. The Dranger's also got very aggressive.
Ooh, is this a reckless we were watching?
I don't know. Let's find out. What are the captains, guys?
He says in chat that the Charybdis was on aggressive, not reckless. Oops.
Oops. That was definitely reckless. That was definitely reckless. It went in hard. Dranger goes down within 73 seconds.
Yeah, as Fear says, maybe it didn't have enough capacitors, so it just got spiked flex really hard, which meant that it didn't know to retreat until it was too late.
Tartarus down. Those bursts.
Diablo's making mincemeat of this fleet.
Yeah,
oh boy.
That Pandemonium's. Like, I don't even know if anything else is doing. It's just the Pandemonium just wrecking.
There's the hail. There's the hail. The hail's behind the.
I see it.
Oh, come on, hail. Do it. Press the button.
It fired him, but the target was dead, so it's like the Tusks are looking for new targets.
Tusks did something else then.
Looking for a new target, didn't find it. The Tusks have disabled themselves. But that was.
Oh, they went with the kite.
That was crazy.
That Pandemonium. It's got more Tusks, doesn't it?
The Pandemonium has also lost its siege laser for quadruple hexafires. So, quadruple
hexafires are great.
So, what's the quadruple hexafire then? It's 12.
A hexafire is a high explosive shotgun.
No, but I'm trying to think. It'd be dodecafire for 2 of them. So it would be what's 24 in Latin?
I'm gonna look it up.
So hexafire is 6, and a dodecafire would be 12.
No, not letters.
Dodecafire?
No, not the letters. I don't want XXIV.
Do quadifire, maybe? Duo quadifire? Probably duo quad... Oh, tetra. It might be tetra for Latin. Is tetra Latin or is tetra in Greek? I can't remember. Quad and tetra. One's Latin, one's Greek.
Quattro. Oh my god.
Quattro.
I'm gonna copy it into chat. Someone else can pronounce this.
Iso quadrifire.
I got based on according to Wikipedia.
Quadrovigant fire. Really? The 20 after the 4? Fair enough. It's got a Quattrovigant fire on it. Yeah, that Pandemonium. Like, it didn't start off well that the Charybdis and the went in hard, followed by the Dranger, who survived that long because of the damper for the heavy roster field.
That did get one-sided fast, wowie.
Yeah, that got really, really quickly. Well, because like the Charybdis got deleted immediately, and
Yeah, and then the whole fleet just kind of folded. They lost momentum.
yeah.
See that's a big part, and it was almost a shame too. They only lost one ship. This is a big part of what we were talking about earlier. Positioning matters. If you get caught out like that, you can die instantly. And because that ship got caught out like that, all the other ships weren't ready for having that big hole in its defenses.
Yeah.
So the aggressively like advancing fleet was in a good position to capitalize on the loss.
Well, see how we do from the Diable SRA perspective. The DSRA.
Momentum in these fights are terrifying.
Yeah.
You lose one ship and suddenly the entire side of the fight has been lost because everyone in the area was depending on that one ship to be around.
I guess this Quattro Vigant fire is terrifying when it goes, because you just saw it unloading into the Charybdis over and over and over again.
And the Hexafire is very flex efficient for what it is, which meant that the Pandemonium never had to worry about flex.
Yeah, it was just there. Open.
Plus shield bypass, isn't it?
Hey, I think it's got a shield bypass, yeah.
Ah, there we go. That's the thing too, it's shield bypass. As long as it's winning, it never... Don't think about that too much.
The Dranger's gone really aggressive this time as well. The Dranger is just sitting in front.
Oh, but it activated its ship system way too early. It decided to take flux with full damage. That's not a good idea. It lost its advantage. It could have done a lot of damage to the Pandemonium.
Yeah, the Charybdis is holding back this time around, but that Dranger just went in hard.
Yeah, the Dranger seemed really happy to use its ship system, which costs it flux and means that it's not firing its weapon. So what happened there, unfortunately, that's definitely a case of AI limitations. It ran at it, and then as soon as it got shot, it said, "Wait, no, don't shoot at me," and let it get shot at instead of returning fire to disable the weapons.
And against the Pandemonium just like swipes up.
Yep. And I mean, the Pandemonium, even worse with the shield bypass stuff, is that its large mounts are so far away from the front. So if it's facing enemies, they can't stop it. It's just an unstoppable machine of death.
Yeah, because any damage that gets done to them will never shut down the weapons. It's so far from the front.
Yeah. And as Stormbringer is saying in chat, that this is kind of the best scenario for the Pandemonium. A death or glory in the first minute before it loses its armor. It's always going to win the Flux War, so as long as it still has armor, it can just keep going until it dies. Meanwhile, it's fighting a faction that's very heavily reliant on its flux and weapon shields.
I'm not entirely sure what the Shikomis are firing at. Because I saw several Shikomis like go right beside the Pandemonium and just like fire backwards towards their own fleet. I'm generally
the cast beams are hard pointed, aren't they?
Yeah, but they were firing backwards. I'm not sure what they were firing
they're
at.
hard pointed. I think they got shot by the Birchhells while in time dilated.
Oh, and it got spun around.
They burned out while they were firing, or like while they were about to fire, because the cast also has a warm up, I think. Otherwise, they're shooting at fighters that we can't see.
Oh, that's 24 shots. Painful. And the Pandemonium is really the star of the show for this one. No doubt about it.
Oh yeah, the Pandemonium is doing the work.
It's also got, I believe it's also got polarizers at the front. It took polarizers from the SRA. I believe, yeah, it's got 6 polarizers at the front as well. So
just a meme.
Yeah. That was rough. I don't even think I've seen the Charybdis fire its seed laser. Yep, and you got some thrushes.
As chat says, Dreadnought with the blink system, what's not to love? You're right, that's why the Diable carrier capitals are just the best things. The Pandemonium can't really turn unless it's flicker coring though, so it's the AI is not dead, but it literally couldn't keep up.
Yeah, I was like, hang on, it's not still alive, it's still moving, it just can't do anything. It doesn't have a turn speed, basically. It has to teleport to turn.
Mm-hmm.
On
Oh,
fire.
it's got Glock's lances too. I didn't notice that. That's probably why the enemy fighters aren't doing any.
On the Burchell? It
On
does.
the Pandemonium, they have Gloxes, however it's pronounced.
Yeah. Oh my God, they do. I thought it was like seeing it in Burchell's firing. No, it does have
Well,
5.
they do have Burchells as well, but they got Gloxes.
Yeah, 5 Gloxes in fact. Holy crap.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll definitely do it. I might
Delete us.
I might sneak that a build for some point when I do a DA fleet, because that was genuinely terrifying.
Pandemonium's a good ship.
What's the overlay on the bottom right?
For the Maelstrom myself.
Well, there's the event list, and then there's the stream boss. My fleet have literally do literally nothing. Is the X Silent and Glaux? I don't know.
All right, so do we have a ruling on
Yeah, do you have
rematch between DME and Neutrino versus DME and Aura?
Yeah. It sounds like my fleet literally didn't have to be there. Remember after this week.
All right, so yeah, we want to do the rematch.
Cool. After this week, the pairings change again. It's not fixed pairings, right?
Right, it's not fixed pairings, which is part of why we get to switch weapons around. Because we're just gonna have different guns and fighters constantly.
So one rematch or a full rematch?
Just one round.
Do you remember what
the same sides that we were using before?
Do you remember what it was?
I think it was the second option.
Yeah, ORA1. It's ORA1 is the one.
And according to Tart, if Mordia and Dancy win, then Blowthorn and Sejusa will get half a point because they were already winning at the start.
Okay. So if you didn't repeat that, we're gonna redo the tiebreaker match for the DME fight. But if Morsha wins, and Morsha and Dancy win because Blowthorn and Sejusa were actually winning before the break happened, they'll get half a point anyway.
Yeah, Blowthorn and Sejusa will get half a point anyway as a it was really, really close and we can't call it thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Herflex, if a flip happens and it doesn't go the same way the other way fight went, Blowthorn will get and CJ USA will get. Is it Sejusa or CJ USA?
I've always said it's Sejusa in my mind, but CJ USA sounds right as well, so yeah. I don't know.
Seducer. Blowthorn and the Seducer get half a point in case. But anyway, so yeah, let's try this one again. Hopefully this time. Again, the reason that the Jeanne d'Arc, of course, fled last time was that it had been pushed so far back. Like the pressure was so much, which is why it got immediately retreated.
Yeah, and when like a frigate or a destroyer retreats, that's not always a giant deal, but the capital just vanishing like that is literally the whole fleet going away. So
especially because it's taking 6 fighter wings with it basically.
Yeah.
Again, a change from 0.8 because where the fighters are linked to a specific carrier, rather than just being fighters in the field that just get. Yeah, it was far enough to support. I mean, the only problem, it was still not far enough to be in the fight because it's a carrier, but that 1 second blip where it decided to flee, and because it was in that area, it just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting a very nice.
Fly's going right for the Banshee. That's aggressive.
Yeah, they're not going to get far because it's too many. Both sides have a lot of air superiority fighters that are basically just destroying each other in the middle.
Yep. This is a meat grinder fight for sure. There's a lot of people dying left and right.
A lot of fighter crashing.
A Ballista's been taking damage apparently.
Oh, the elevation just took the 30 voltages right there. Ballista's going down. Husky's gone down. Another Ballista
took no damage. Good job, elevation.
Elevation.
Oh, but it's getting flanked by the drones though.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I love that you have your timing is always perfect with this stuff.
Well, it got hit by when you said it. Like 3 seconds later, it got getting hit by a burst of missiles, and it took it all to the shield successfully.
Yeah, it did that.
That's what I was reacting to.
I know. Then you said it's fine, then it immediately dies on my screen. It's like, ah, this is just amusing. Ooh, those damsel flies. That's an overloaded Jeanne d'Arc as well.
Yeah, damselflies are mean. I was really, I honestly couldn't figure out how to use them in 0.7, but now that like they can converge better in 0.8, they're so powerful.
Yep. Well, there's no second guessing that. That was a high intensity laser to that Jeanne d'Arc's face.
Yeah, well, it's not allowed to retreat this time, so.
Yep. And the other Jeanne d'Arc said, "You're not leaving me alone this time. I'm gonna make sure you hang around."
The Banshee thought that they had it for a minute. They thought they could do this. They could rally their forces. It could be different this time.
The Banshee again has not taken any damage. He's got lots of good shielding.
Well, it's been taking some armor damage, which it regenerates.
Not that much armor damage, considering how much has actually been sent its way.
Yeah, not that much, but you can tell that it's taken some. It has that like sparking effect on its armor. That means it's regenerating.
Oh, mother of mercy! Somebody clip that. That was 100-0.
Yep, that's a dead neutrino ship.
Just somebody clip that. I don't care who it is. Just get me that clip. That was 100-0. Like, I lost count of the amount of Katyusha the perforators that went through that one. That was insane. That was crazy.
God bless Damselfly. Yeah,
God damn, Damselfly.
What's your response to that?
Holy crap!
There was no doubt who won. This was
amazing. Holy crap!
This is BM at this point. Oh, you want a rematch? All right, we won't hold back.
Yeah. There will be no doubts.
Take the limiters off for this anime fight.
They remove their weighted bracelets, you know.
Go.
Do the friggin' like Rock Lee thing and just throw down the weighted bracelets.
Dude, Rock Lee was good.
Rock Lee's amazing.
I hate that Naruto is like a meme now, because the first season was actually really cool.
I watched all of it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I enjoyed it. Like, got to the end, it was because it had been. What was it? I watched the first like 200 marathoned it over like holiday when I was in uni. Then I sort of.
That's probably the way to do it.
Then, when Shippuden came around, I watched a bit of it. Then again, I stopped again. Then I marathoned it, and then I marathoned it with the list that says that mentions all the filler episodes, so I could just skip those.
Yeah, that's probably the way to do it.
So I just skipped like 50 episodes at a time here and there. And it worked out. It's funny. And by the end, it was like, you know what? Parts of this are actually really good. And I was having this discussion actually. I'm completely off topic here, so I'll get back to this after the fight's done.
I mean, it's already determined who's won. We're just kind of waffling again.
Yeah. Oh my god! Please tell me someone clipped that. I'm assuming that bloody kind.
Yeah, there's a clip in the
bloody kindly Bible thump. Bible thump for that bloody. You can just put Bible thump in chat.
I'm gonna post that to tournament chat.
Yeah, because oh my god,
that's already been posted by Ava as well. Good
Jesus.
job, Ava.
Yeah, that was genuinely scary.
I was trying to clip it, but I didn't have a connection rate high enough to like to be able to load it in time. So
yeah, no worries. You got sort of several people in chat doing it, so thankfully we have a good chat. There we go. That's guarantee, I think. That is pretty much guaranteed that's how that worked out. Left no nothing, no kind of doubt at all. That was quite quick. That was actually less than 2 hours. Holy crap!
Yep. I guess a lot of the fleets were specifically built for making the fights short. The only one that was really that long was the II and Aura one, because that's such a standoff fleet.
Yeah. That fleet wants it to take a long time.
Yeah, and we're not going to see a matchup like that ever again, because that's the only two standoff fleets we have, I think.
Fuck it, bad. What did I miss? Everything. Sorry. You literally missed everything. Pouring out for the boys of the Banshee.
Yep.
Oof. That was rough. And the point I was making earlier when we talked about anime is that I was having a discussion, like, even if I didn't enjoy a lot of Naruto, I discovered a lot of good bands from listening to Naruto.
That's fair. That's totally
Which like
fair. Sometimes
I know I was doing like I was making that as a kind of as a one of the things that I like about sort of anime is that it's a very good like way to propagate like sort of J bands in general. And there's a lot of stuff I would not have heard of before if I had not watched them make an OP or an AD somewhere.
nerd.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. VOD when? I'll put a VOD up. I'll see if I can get a VOD up tomorrow. I'll see if I can get this VOD up tomorrow because this shouldn't be much to do. Just a bit of editing here and there. Just cut off the beginning, really. Other than that, I'm happy to keep the rest of it in. No one's really sworn badly, so I don't really mind that much. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be up on Twitch immediately. I'm just gonna like edit it down for YouTube.
Oh, did you ever edit last week? So I never watched the full VOD.
I just like remove the beginning and just switch the VOD to public as opposed to making a whole new video for it, which I might just do for this as well.
So you left in like the half hour of us talking about inane stuff?
Not before I cut off like at the beginning.
No, I mean at the end when we just kind of sat around chatting.
Oh yeah, that's in. That's totally in there.
Cool.
We were talking about the blog post. It was all related.
It was all
it was all related.
You know.
Yeah, much like this is, and why this is going to get kept in as well. So hang on, let's do a quick check on the actual. I've got the Starsector document here. So what do we actually have at the moment? We got the round.
Oh shit! They're filling it out already.
Yeah, hang on. This is next week's. Next week's is going to be Thursdays. Next week, surely, because you need a week to like process stuff. So next week we have Blowthorn's DME and Grimm's Low Tech fighting out off against Cum's High Tech versus it's Blowthorn and Grimm versus Cums and Lightning JC. So it's DME Low versus Metalson High. We have UN SRA versus ORA and DA. So it's
man, that's a hell of a matchup.
UN Snarasha and
that's versus four of the top seeds, I would say right now, actually.
Yeah, it's UN Snarasha versus Karoy and Chaos Farseer. Then it's going to be Night Chase and Saluna versus CJ USA and Night Kev. So it's going to be an ORA BRDY versus a SRA flight, and then it's going to be DME. So Dancy gets to be. Hang on, Dancy hasn't. That can't be right. Dancy hasn't changed partners.
Yeah, fix your stuff. Come on.
You have to change that, buddy, because Dancy hasn't changed partners next week. That's not how this works. And Nia and Mid, which is again hasn't changed. That's the same as this week, wasn't it? I can just see the little square on the spreadsheet, just like pausing. It's like, hang on, wait a second.
Yeah, and the Foundation of Borin and Midtech mashed up again as well. That's.
I'll let.
That'll get figured out, I'm sure.
Yeah, they'll get figured out. So we have. There we go. Okay, so it's a mix of we have DME and SRA. There's going to be Neutrino and Psi. It looks like, and. It's going to be Neutrino and Psi and FOB and BRDY. So it's going to be Midtech and ORA, CJ USA, and Herflex.
We're probably really stressing him out by narrating as he's thinking.
He's probably, yeah.
What do you do, Tart? What are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do?
Is it Tart or is it Oryxon? I can't even tell.
I think Red's Tart, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red's Tart.
Yeah, this is the music. We're really stressing him out now.
Okay, so first off, we got the A bracket is a DME and Low Tech versus High Tech and Metalson. That's interesting because DME is like mid plus and Low Tech versus straight up High Tech and Metalson, which is like low plus, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a transform here.
So that'll be an interesting matchup because that's a lot of ships. Both teams have a high techy faction and a spam faction, I would say. That's going to be a chaotic fight. Meanwhile, for B, we have myself and Sanrasha, which would be interesting. That's a lot of fighters.
I'm sure if I can get a window capture. Window capture.
Oh yeah, you can do that. And then I could be clicking things to like highlight color.
Yeah.
It looks like it's your phone screen.
No, that's just the chat.
You have the chat up twice.
Yeah, hang on. Go away. And studio mode. This is what studio mode is made for.
Come on, you can do this.
Right, let's do this. So,
make sure that it's above the game.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out in hand. Go away. Go away. No, go away. I had this right. Remove that. Open that up. Yeah. Now do a quickly. We're going to do a.
So anyway, myself and Sinrasha with Shadow Yards and I, an interesting combination because of just how many fighters that both of those fleets have condensed. Plus, I'm fighting Karoy now, so that'll be interesting. It's always nice to see people, and I'm sure there's other matches like this I haven't noticed. Like
there you go. That should be it. There you go. That's the.
Let me try and find one. Seducer and both.
You get to see everything. Look at me doing. Look at me make circles. Yes, this is next week.
No, comes Night Chase. No. Naya Herflix. No. Saloon and Lightning JC. No. Chaos Farseer and no. Okay, so Chaos Farseer and Sinrasha were partners. Now they're fighting each other. So my matchup is actually like a really interesting grudge match now because it's two teams who were originally teams are now fighting each other. Look at that. We got I can click on things now.
Yeah,
so we got Chaos Farseer over
You can, but it doesn't show up my screen, I don't think.
Well, it'll be highlighted the color because it's a Google Doc, dude. I think.
Well, it's not turning up for me so far.
Oh, that's weird.
There you go. Let's see. I think. No, that's Tart.
Nope. Okay. So anyway, so for B, then on Aura Diable side, Karoy builds very aggressively, so it'll be interesting seeing what I'm going to just full tilt right now, just shooting out there. High speed Enlightenment with a high speed Pandemonium, both shieldless, both aggressive, terrifying. So that's gonna be a hell of a matchup. I have no idea what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a lot of. Next on C we have Psy and Neutrino, which that'll be interesting as well because they actually have fairly similar strategies. So they have really interesting missiles, both of them. Like say modular swarmers on the Banshee might be fun to watch.
Triple modular swarmer, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Triple singularity torpedo. Triple singularity.
Triple what?
Singularity torpedoes.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be funny. Versus the Aura and Midtech. Oh, that's a matchup with no capitals.
Oh, that's going to be a rough fight.
That we'll have to see what they do because that they could do another interesting pivot like Midtech did with the monitors. The monitors are nice, and that's probably going to be a good thing to stop all the missile spam that Psy and Neutrino are going to be doing.
No, I was going to say there aren't many fighters, but Psy just added a lot of Argus, so there are fighters now.
Yeah. And Neutrino can always add some more if they want, because they added a couple, I think. Well, that was DME's carrier that had most.
Yeah, but there was the Neutrino had a couple of carriers out there as well.
Mm-hmm. And then we have DME and SRA, which is because that's a lot. That's again a lot of fighters, speed and burstiness, versus Foundation of Borkin and Birdie. This is going to be an anime fight in D bracket. Okay.
Yeah, that is true. That is the most anime bracket. Holy crap! DME SRA.
That one is going to be loud. It's going to be angry. No one's going to. Smoke will clear and someone will win. Okay.
Yeah, so just move over here to the score.
I'm interested in B bracket because there's going to be a meta to it. I think I'm interested in the D bracket because it's going to be just one loud Michael Bay movie.
That's true. And let's see. So here we have so far, Combs, Blowthorn, and Dizzy are in first place, are leading first place. Then Karoy, Night Chase, and CJ USA in second place.
Yeah. And then, of course, the C bracket, like I said, they have the no cap Aura and no cap Midtech, which they could do some fancy things. We'll have to see because whatever's going to happen, it'll be an interesting thing. And then an A bracket, it's DME versus Paragon, which will be interesting to see. And then low tech with the Onslaught and the Dringer. So it'll probably be a bit of a mirror match almost. Not literally one, but in tech level, I think it'll be a bit of a mirror match.
Yeah, you can have because you have like high tech versus high tech, and then you have low tech versus metal, which is like between low and mid tech.
Yeah, like DME is kind of between high and mid as well. I would, like I said, it'd be high tech with some mid tech leanings.
Well, someone like
Metal
mentioned
Smith says
someone
low
once said
tech
to me
with some
that
mid
DME
tech.
was the highest tech fleet ever out there.
Disagree,
Yeah, it was just
because I
someone.
mean
Yeah,
that there's what could be higher tech than that? I don't know. There could
Templar.
be Neutrino.
Templar, I think, probably is the
Um,
highest tech out there.
Neutrino is excessively high tech. It's just that they don't conform to the vanilla high tech thing more, so that they are a mega corporation with really bizarre technology. There's Templar, but that's cheating. Um,
Someone asked why
and
Templar
of
was
course,
in the mod list because Templar was allowed until it was disallowed, which is why it's.
yeah, no, it was
Wasn't it
almost.
Snarasha was going to take Templar? I think. Someone
Yeah,
was going to take
he was gonna, but he was like considering it. Like he kind of regretted it. Plus, the organizers decided that they wanted to not have Templar because apparently the Archbishop is just too powerful. Grumble, grumble. Some people here don't like the Archbishop.
I was in a bad place mentally when I had that fight. And it's like it was more the problem that I couldn't get out of the fight in that campaign because of the way it was set up. They interdicted me.
All
I
right,
couldn't
buddy.
get it.
That's you gotta level sensors. All right, you gotta level sensors. You gotta be sneaky geeky. You can't constantly sit around in one place too long, man. Just gotta. You get good, Nemo.
Yeah, I'm way beyond that, buddy.
No, it's all right. I'm not actually like criticizing.
Yeah.
It was amusing how angry you got.
Like I said, there was 2 hours of unaired footage from that fight, and it's like, which is why I just got so points. Like, it's like I don't like people are like saying in the comments like you should have done this. Like I tried everything.
I mean, the things I was saying in your Discord was stuff that you wouldn't have been able to do during the fight. Fighting Templar is a very meta fight. You got to build around it.
Yeah, isn't it? That the fleet I had wasn't designed to fight that fleet. I wouldn't have fought that.
Yeah, you
fleet.
weren't fighting Templar fleets.
Yeah, but not like Archbishop heavy Templar fleets. I consider like a Paladin heavy fleet and an Archbishop heavy to be entirely different fleets.
You were fighting. Just saying, man.
I wasn't fighting Archbishop fleets.
But you were around where Archbishops were. Nobody plans to take on 5 Pandemoniums outright once. All right. Nobody wants to admit that they ate 9 cans of ravioli.
I ate 9 cans. I ate 9 cans. Dude, what the hell eats canned ravioli? What the hell's wrong with you? My Italian blood argues with that at the highest spot of lobes.
Did you ever get that Capture Jesuit work?
I don't remember. Not in my current playthrough. I'm not good at Jesuit.
You got to get the D mods gone, otherwise it doesn't have crew and burst.
Yeah, that was an old campaign. Yeah, it was an old campaign. I'm not using any Templar ships at the moment, but yeah. Oh, right, I'm gonna call it there. I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I think it'll be next week. Probably the same time against next week.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I gotta get up in the morning, but it means that I have an excuse to get up in the morning. So hey,
I'm helping you be productive.
And then I'm probably gonna do some errands today. Holy hell!
Oh my god, you got time to do stuff.
Oh my god, yeah, because I don't do anything on Wednesdays because it's Wednesday here for me.
Yeah, it's about 11 o'clock in the morning for you now.
Yep, it is 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's what, like 10 p.m. for you?
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. for me.
Yeah.
Oh. Just a disclaimer for next week, me. Yes. Prepare my mind.
Oh man, he's got evil plans. He said, and I'm excited for those evil plans. I think next week's going to be an interesting series of events.
Com's go to bed, buddy. I know Southeast Asia gets screwed over by the time zones for this. That's one thing we were talking about time zones, but there's literally no way to pick a time zone that works for everybody.
Luckily Nemo and I at least literally in a
we coordinate.
There's a good window where we do match.
Yeah, we're literally like 11 hours apart right now. And to be fair, I think my clocks shift this weekend anyway, so then we'll be exactly 12 hours apart.
Yeah, sure. And I will. And, oh God, I hope that doesn't mean I have to get up at 8 a.m.
Hang on.
8 a.m. I mean.
I'm going to go forward in time, so I'll be at 11 when you be at 11. Yeah, this is going to be... You have to get up for 8.
Oh, okay.
You have to get up for 8.
Shit.
Congratulations. To be fair, I might move it forward an hour, depending. If it's going to be this short, I can start it like an hour later.
Yeah, if I'm waking up at 8, you will hear me like literally grunt as I get out of bed because I'm not going to do anything beforehand.
Also, we'll see how it works out, because if it goes as short as this next time, I don't mind starting at this time, which means it starts at like 10 for you, which at that point will be 6 in the morning for Comes, so Comes like actually, instead of having to stay up all night, can just get up early.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We got a week to figure this out. Anyway, I'm going to call it there, folks. We're rambling. We had like about another 20 minutes of rambling for the end of the VOD, so thanks very much for watching, guys.
Yep.
And I'll catch you guys, in my next video tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Stop the stream. Stop the stream!